Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Right? Oh man. Oh boy. Okay, before we get into it. So what I didn't know about the story of Mr. Travis Kelsey, is that his first name? Mr. Kelsey, is that what's her face? The young black lady. Um, she hit him up in his DMs, right? First of all, shout out to Crimson Cure because I did not know that, which speaks to a trend that we see. What's her name? Jodie Turner Smith, hitting on old boy from Dawson Creek, right? We also see this with the Travis Kelsey situation. We also hear this from black women. The young lady that said, you wink and you nod and you make yourself available. So what we see here are the same black women that said they would rather excuse my language, drag their ass on hot coal before they propose to you, before they hit on you first, before they make themselves that overtly available, are doing it for white men, right? So what we hear is that Travis Kelce was liking her pictures on IG and whatnot, and then she made the first move, and she, with some liquid courage, hit him up in his DMs. So black women are sliding in white men's DMs, is what we're seeing. And by the way, didn't we hear that from what's her face from Lizzo with Chris Evans? So black women are sliding in someone's DMs. It's just not you, black men. Right? It's just not you. So once again, black women charging black men with the black tax. They will slide in a man's DMs. Just not you, black man. Just not you. Right? They'll slide in the white man's DMs. They'll pursue the white man. If they're Jodie Turner Smith, they'll propose to the white man. Oops. Uh-huh. All that talk of femininity and all this other stuff. Right? What's more masculine than being the one to propose? Yikes. All that I'm not one night stand this and one night stand that. One night standing with them white dudes though. Ain't that right, Jodie Turner Smith? All that he slid in my DMs and I left him on red. Yeah, not for the white dude. You slide in his DMs. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's what it's looking like. Anyway, now to the story at hand. Oh, was I right or was I right? Was I right or was I right? Was I right or was I right? So, Ebony K. Williams comes to us once again to let us know, right, that the temper tantrum that Mr. Z thought it was is what it was, right? The temper tantrum is what it was. Oh, was I right or was I right? Were we right or were we right? Okay, the reason why we're covering this, it's not just to say we were right. It's to say why. It's to say what we saw, right? What did we see? We saw educated, attractive, middle-aged black woman throwing a temper tantrum. And everyone else in this society, including your supposed well-meaning black men, black women, upwardly mobile, right, well-off, professional black people, namely black women, acted as if your everyday blue-collar black man didn't know what he was talking about. He was projecting. He's insecure about his position, right? He's mediocre. He feels offended that a professional black woman like Ebony K. Williams is out. Isn't Isn't that what we were told? She wasn't speaking about us, right? Now, the more you let her talk, the more she say black men. But initially, we were told she wasn't speaking about us. We're being insecure. Why are black women always told to settle? Why should a high-powered attorney like Ebony K. Williams settle for you, blue-collar black man, you bus drivers, right? Isn't that what we were told? Now what? So for those of you that didn't check out the link in the video, I mean the link, yeah, well, the link in the description. In this video, Ebony K. Williams is just telling young women, especially college-educated women, this is the time to also search for a man, get your education, and also make yourself available to be an MRS, right? Ebony K. Williams openly admitted that men's stock increase as they age. That's what Ebony K. Williams said. Men's stock increase as they age. Right? Ebony K. Williams had a difficult time accepting this over the past year or so. We can see it. We can see it from her commentary. We can see it from her public temper tantrum that everybody in the black community was pretending was not a temper tantrum. Once again, the question remains, what does a professional black woman throwing a temper tantrum look like, sound like? Right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. What does a black woman throwing a temper tantrum look like, sound like? A professional black woman. And I submit to you, it looked like what Ebony K. Williams has been engaging in over the past 6 or so months. Right? What I submit to you is what Ebony K. Williams has been engaging in over the past half a year or so. The passive aggressive jabs at black men, particularly blue collar black men. I sit it on the breakdown, a woman's perspective. Ebony K. Williams feels like she's being relegated to men that she thinks she's above. I sit it. And more, little by little, what I said that was questioned at the time is being borne out. Mr. Z is not a soothsayer. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a sociologist. I am just an aware, everyday, regular community college dropout black man. And if I saw it and all of you professionals didn't see it, that's because you didn't want to see it. You FD signifiers of the world didn't want to see it. You foreign man in a foreign land of the world didn't want to see it. Ebony K. Williams was very clear. In Black Speak, she was very clear. This was not about, and that's why Iyanla Vanzant said it the way she did. This is not about bum-ass black men sleeping on their mother's couch. Right? This is about black men who you earn more than, because this is what the environment dictates, because this is what women fought for over the past half century. And what Ebony K. Williams and a lot of professional black women and women in general are saying is, oh, hell no. Oh, hell yes. This is what you fought for. You didn't read the fine print. So let's get to Miss Yamanika, who's in the comments defecating on black men as she usually does. It's too easy to make a comment about why we know Yamanika is jabbing at black men. We know why you jabbing at black men. It's so obvious. It's so If I was to state I would get ripped apart by black women. It's so obvious why someone like you is jabbing at black men. Where's your wedding ring from the white man? Goddamn. For those of you that don't know, the supposed comedian Yaminica is in the comments of the clip that I link is in the description from the griot on Instagram. Once again, pretty much saying black men are not on a level. They don't protect us. They can't even protect themselves. Black women shouldn't be told to settle, and black women date out. All of the let's address this black women date out. Y'all forgot Ebony did that already? Oh goddamn. Whoopsie. Y'all forgot. And by the way, not only did Ebony K. Williams date out, Ebony K. Williams was with a man that the vast majority of women in general in America, specifically black women, will never, ever, ever be able to get with. Even if she was the side chick. The vast majority of women in America, period, let alone black women, will never, ever, ever be able to even get next to, let alone be with, let alone having him pay how much in condo fees for you to be laid up for 4 years. How much was he paying? 20 something? 12, 20 something? I can't remember. Some stupid amount per month to have her laid up, to have easy access, right? And your everyday black woman is telling her let's pause again. Let's pause on the pause. Let me get this right. Ebony K. Williams, graduate of Chapel Hill, attorney, attractive, was with the white man, etc., had these experiences. Y'all are telling her y'all know what she talking about better than she know what she talking about? A whole lot of 35 and 40 and 45 and 50 and $55,000 black women think they know better than Ebony K. Williams about potentially missing out on opportunities with men, right? From how long ago? From college years, right? Y'all telling Ebony K. Williams y'all know better than her. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right? Yeah, that's it. Right? For a group of people that were clapping it up for Ebony K. Williams all of 4 and 5 months ago, just about 5 months, 5, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, y'all were clapping it up for Ebony K. Williams, celebrating her, living vicariously through her. All of a sudden, the Walmart worker that barely scrapes $30,000 a year, black woman, is living vicariously through Ebony K. Williams, and now she's a high-powered attorney earning $250,000 a year, and she's a partner at the firm. All of a sudden, trying to tell black men to get on her level. Yeah, we're clapping it up for her. And now that she's saying, on second thought, maybe I should have took men a little bit more seriously when I was in my college years. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have been pursuing marriage also. Or maybe I should have been more open to marriage, or to at least being with the man that we would eventually be married after college. Now, all of a sudden, black women are essentially telling Ebony K. Williams to shut up and go away. The women that were clapping it up for her and saying, yeah, what do black women always got to be told to settle, are now telling Ebony K. Williams to shut up and go away. And aren't y'all tired of this conversation yet? Oh, y'all wasn't tired of it all of 5 and 6 months ago. All of a sudden, y'all tired? 5 and 6 months ago, I was telling black men to get on our level. Now that Ebony K. Williams is telling you, hey, by the way, your best chance at these college-educated men Is when you're in college with them, now y'all tired of the conversation all of a sudden. Oh, well, you look at that. Now all of a sudden y'all tired of the conversation. Huh? And Yemenica talking major crap in the comments. As if everyone doesn't know why you sound the way you sound. Let's stop. We know you. We know who you are. It's so enraging that we can't state the obvious. It's so enraging that we can't state the obvious of why a woman like her sound the way she does. We all know why she sound the way she does, and we can't say it because we're gonna be shaming and insulting and belittling. Meanwhile, women like that will be the first one to start insulting you for your looks and etc. etc. Black men being told to fight with both of their hands behind their back, while women like Yeminica get to take jabs at black men because she ain't chose. And that is obviously, not only is she not chose by black men, here's the kicker: she ain't chose by white men neither. Right? So, Ebony Williams, we've watched this. This would actually be kind of called the evolution, slow and painful evolution, but we've watched this evolution just over 6 months. And people like Mr. Z were calling it out from the beginning because we knew what it was from the beginning. We've been around enough educated, upwardly mobile black women to know when they're throwing a temper tantrum because their love life is trash. And okay, yeah. But what you're really doing is throwing a temper tantrum. Okay, there we go. I got it. I get it. Right? So now that Ebony is being forthright, now the women are like, aren't y'all tired of this conversation? Right? Ebony spoke of the dwindling fertility as women age and how men's stock increases as they age. And women are in the comments acting as if they don't comprehend. Ladies, if you value men for their ability to gather resources, and as men age, much like compound interest, they are able to gather and accumulate more and more resources, then guess what that means? Older men are more valuable. To you, ladies. To you. Right? Now, is that Mr. Z explaining women to women? No. I'm telling women to stop being obtuse. They know what Ebony is saying. They just refuse to come to terms with it, as if denying gravity, and as if denying that gravity exists stops gravity from existing. They understand what Ebony is saying. If you, it's simple math. If you ladies would rather a man that not only is just financially stable, but a bit more than financially stable, a whole lot more than financially stable, then guess what that means? That means that older men are more valuable, inherently more valuable, because you ladies make him more valuable. Because you care about his ability to gather resources and men's ability to gather resources. And as I said before, that's not Me trying to explain women to women, that's me telling you to stop being obtuse. This idea, another thing that's just completely destroyed this conversation? Celebrity culture. Women see guys like Chris Brown who've been making money since he was, what, 16, 17? Guys like Lil Wayne, right? Guys like Kendrick Lamar, guys like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, all these celebrities and athletes, right? Even guys like Jay-Z who started making money really in his 20s, or men like Pac who was gone by what, 27, 26? He had already left such an indelible impact on this planet. They see that and they think, what, that's the norm? Your average man doesn't hit his peak until what, in his 50s financially? 2/3 of men never earn more than $65,000 a year. I didn't say black men, I said men. And so when Ebony K. Williams comes out and says, "Oh, on second thought, ladies, now y'all don't," no, 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 right? Ebony is telling y'all that as a black woman who has dated black and non-black men, she now comprehends somewhat, just a smidge, some of her mistakes and miscalculations. And you ladies can't hear it. You ladies can't hear it, right? Now, let's be very clear. Ebony K. Williams speaks about college educated women that are in pursuit of college educated men. But let's be very clear. Black men still earn more than black women. Period. Now, there's less of us than black women by some 2 or some million. But black men still earn more than black women. Let's be very clear. Ebony is essentially, in a roundabout way, telling black women to take a risk. Now, it's not a great risk because, this young man is in college, presuming that he graduates, he's somewhat in an upward trajectory. But she's telling black women to take a risk, college educated black women, or at least black women in college, to take a risk. And these risk averse women are saying no. They want the guarantee that a man that they end up with will be not only upwardly mobile and financially well endowed, but they want a guarantee about that. They're not willing to risk it. That's why they think on the other side of 30 and 35, that's about the time. I would like to remind y'all of the black women such as Chrissy that was mocking and making fun of all of those white women that were graduating and they were showing their wedding rings in that video. Their engagement rings and their wedding rings. And Chrissy and a bunch of her subscribers and followers were making fun of that and thought it was funny. No, black women, at least for Mr. Z, I'm not holding you to white women standards. I'm saying, all right, fine, you're not going to go that route. Nothing wrong with that. But where's your success rate? Now what we're hearing from women is stop selling black women on the scarcity mindset. Stop these scare tactics, right? So all these women in the comments are saying it doesn't matter when one gets married. Open up your options. Stop centering men. Stop putting marriage on a pedestal. Stop the scare tactic. Excuse me. Stop the scare tactics. Stop the scarcity mindset. Now we have a whole bunch of black women that are saying this to Ebony. Stop the scarcity mindset. You know, whenever a black woman on Ebony's level or above, definitely we heard this with the Tarajis, right? And definitely when um what's homegirl name out of Atlanta? What is her name? She was the other one that said we need black men. When we spoke about her, super attractive. She's right there in my head too. Jesus Christ. We were talking about her being single and she's fine as hell. Okay, I forgot her name. But yeah, right. Every time one of these women speak this way, you always hear this from black women. Stop the scarcity tactics. As if the rich black women aren't telling you something. They reached the mountaintop in success. They reached the mountaintop. But y'all are so hell-bent with your own weird take on life and what it should be that the women that are on top, you can't hear them in their warning. Rest in peace to the young, was it Miss America? The young lady that, unfortunately took her own life. Right? Carrie Hilson, who's who I was talking about, by the way. Hit me again. Carrie Hilson. So when Carrie Hilson and Taraji P. Henson tell you, we need black men. Right? And KW Don put it in chat. Yeah, right after me. Yeah. Carrie Hilson. Yep. Y'all can't hear them because you're so obsessed with punching down to black men. And so the women that reach the mountaintop of success and fame and wealth that are telling you, actually, you can't hear it. When Wendy Williams tell y'all it, y'all can't hear it. Right? When Nicki Minaj tell y'all it, y'all can't. As a matter of fact, all these women that tell you these things, you find ways to make fun of them or to make fun of their circumstance. Or Nicki Minaj, you got a pedophile type husband, and Wendy Williams, your husband cheated on you, and Taraji, this and this and that, and Carrie Hilson, this and this. Y'all find ways to mock them and make fun of them. With Ebony K. Williams, it's a little bit more difficult. So you just tell her to shut up and go away and stop the scarcity mindset. And Victor Frost, yes, Chelsea was the young lady I was speaking of that, unfortunately took her life. Absolutely gorgeous black woman. Gorgeous. What that mean? Carrie Hilson, another one. Gorgeous. What that mean? Right? So these women that are telling you, by the way, the best time to do this is in your youth. Y'all are telling them to shut up and go away. And what this really is anyone that attempts to give black women any advice that lets them know the reality of numbers and math and men, they tell to shut up because what they really want is to freestyle and do whatever they want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the women that did that are telling you, hey, probably not going to work for you. Right? Probably not going to work for you. And I Am Wolf says, would kill me, Z. They were going in on black men, but Ebony K. Williams' ex-fiance was white. Jess Travis Kelsey, Britt Gate were being blamed for nothing. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, but of course, look, you can't look. These women are speaking, and you saw this even from Yeminica, is that they're speaking as if Ebony K. Williams wasn't just with a white man. They're so hell-bent at punching at black men that even a black woman who was with at least one white man baller ass white man, was with him for 4 years and couldn't lock down the wedding ring. They act like that didn't happen because they need to punch down on you, black man. They act like this black woman wasn't with the white man. Well, maybe if we date out, yeah. Ebony K. Williams did that. Chrissy's done that. Right? All of these women are either doing that or have done that. What do they got to show for it? Of course, I Am Wolf, they can't help it. Exactly, Charles Bentley, do you, boo? Right? We're covering this story to show that we were correct. And it's not just that we were correct. It's not just about saying we were correct. Why were we correct? The same thing with BLM. Why were we correct? The same thing with Taraji P. Henson. Why were we correct? Why are we in the Black Manosphere being proven right with all of these stories over and over again? Right? Our assessment, why are we correct? And yes, this is about intimacy between black men and black women. Because at the foundation of family is the intimacy between black men and black women. Right? And all these people try, well, it's not all about, why does it always got to be about intimacy? And why does it always have to be about this? And, we need to just, you hear this decentering men talk in the comments. Right? This decenter men talk in the comments. We'll see. What are human beings but their relationships, both their platonic and romantic relationships? This is that mouse utopia talk. This is that solo dolo talk. Right? All that sound nice. Ebony tried what y'all doing too. That stiff upper lip, fake ass stoic, when she was really throwing a temper tantrum. I don't need no man, or I don't need a man in this capacity, or I only want a man in that capacity. Yeah, that sound nice. Now she 40? And she telling y'all, actually, right? And for Yeminica, who couldn't even touch what Ebony was with a couple years ago, to turn around and to essentially, tell black men to step it up, and black men can't even protect themselves, let alone protect black women. And she's in the comments throwing them, and for her to talk, just stop talking. And we'll pause right here. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Mr. Z will be right back with y'all. Absolutely hysterical. Trail. Ebony doesn't need a man because she got 2 vials of black sperm. Hysterical. Notice how many black women are just completely omitting the fact that she was in a relationship or in a situationship with a white man just to prove a point that black men ain't ish. They're gonna completely ignore the fact that this black woman was in a situationship with a white man. Just notice they're literally speaking as if that wasn't the case. They're literally speaking that way because they're trying to prove a point. You ain't ish, black man, even when you're not in the room, even when you have nothing to do with the conversation, you ain't ish, right? And we'll pause here again and y'all talk amongst yourselves. Look, I actually got this one right. And Bruce Owen Wayne, Batman says, "Thumb saw your fool." In other words, these women are crazy. These women are crazy in Creole. Look, I got it right. Finally, right? Give me 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. About 60 seconds. Okay, and we're back. Okay. Now we're back. You know, the relationship between black men and black women, the schism, right? It's what helps to continue this conversation that now black women are saying they're tired of, right? Because Ebony K. Williams is essentially saying, actually, on second thought, I might have did a little bit of this wrong. I might have zigged when I should have zagged, right? And what these ladies are saying is shut up and go away. But we're here. I want to be very clear. Yes, anti-blackness, white supremacy, racism, and you know, slavery and Jim Crow, and keeping black men away from wealth acquisition right up until about 1980, right? Definitely all of those reasons. But what black women took out of that, starting the clock around 1970, but really 1980, and that's how you get once again, Ebony K. Williams. And Ebony K. Williams' story, particularly over the past couple years, but definitely over the past 6 or so months, and the way we've interpreted it, and the way we've, and I'm saying the black community, not just the black manosphere, the way we've purposely misinterpreted what she was saying, as people like Mr. Z was saying, y'all realize she's throwing a temper tantrum, right? She's not just critiquing black men, she's throwing a temper tantrum. You realize that, right? You realize that she realizes that she's not going to get back on Mount Olympus with the ballerific ass white man again. Y'all realize that, right? You realize that she's throwing a temper tantrum because she feels like she's being relegated to these lowly blue collar black men who she thinks she's better than. And she's not going to be a kept woman of leisure. You realize that, right, Yanni? You realize that, right, Chrissy? You realize that, right, Kim Foster? You realize that, right, Paris Malone? Right? And the black community, just like they did with BLM, acted like black men in the black manosphere didn't know what the hell they were talking about. We're just a bunch of sexist, misogynistic pigs over here. Failed patriarchs. Losers. We're the white man's bottom beat. Not the women hitting the white man up in the DM. Uh-oh. Not those black women. Nope, 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 nope. Right? Not the black women proposing to white men. Not the black women giving up the vagina the first night. Nope. But black men. Failed patriarchs. And so, when Ebony K. Williams slowly unravels and slowly vindicates us and shows, oh, wait, the black manosphere was correct once again. We hear from black women to Ebony K. Williams, shut up and go away. The same women, all of 5 and 6 months ago, that was clapping it up for her. The same exact black women are now telling Ebony K. Williams she's pushing scarcity mindset. Stop with the scare tactics. Right? Everyone finds love at their own in their own time. Huh. When she was defecating on black men, claps. Right? We cover this to prove that much of the critique of black men and the black community coming from particular black women like Ebony K. Williams, like Kim Foster, like Chrissy, like Yanni, like Paris, like Cynthia G, like Shira Seven, like Princella, right? Like Nala Blobs. Much of the critique coming from all of these divested whoever's, they're raging that black men and white men, that's why I keep on telling you they mad at white men too. I would like to direct you to Ebony K. Williams. She trying to keep white men's name as far out of her mouth as humanly possible because she had white men's member in her mouth at one point and it didn't work. I told y'all be thinking, well, I'm going to put this fire ass vagina on them. But white men have fun with that for 6 months, 9 months. In Ebony K. Williams' case, 4 years. For the young lady that was with Travis Kelce for 5 years. And then they're done. Right? What we see here, as I said before, black women quote unquote critiquing black men and all this talk about colorism and all this talk about featureism and all this talk about texturism and body shaming and all of that is just temper tantrum talk, spoiled brat talk for why aren't the ballerific ass men, in this case black men, choosing me so I can defecate on other black women and definitely white women. All of this is not about being with a stable man, a good man. No. This is about rich men, wealthy men, men with some status. Because these women have such an insatiable inferiority complex next to white women that stability isn't good enough. They need to be able to defecate on white women. See, when they talk about, oh, black men didn't win a race war, what they're really saying is you didn't let me win the race war against white women. I need to be able to walk into the firm and be like, look, white woman, you see this? You see this ring? You see that couple $100,000 car outside? For women, you know, black women, it's going to be an SUV. I guess the GLS Maybach or the X7M. Yeah, my man bought that for me because I'm better than you. Right? That's what this is about. This is what it's always been about. Particularly for black women that are upwardly mobile. That's what it's always been about. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. That's what it's always been about. And now they're outwardly saying it. Now you have Ebony K. Williams telling you, if that's your dream, you better risk it for one of these dudes in college. And the women can't hear it. They can't hear, wait, you're asking me not to be risk averse? You're asking me to risk it on one of these dudes in college and maybe go through the struggle with him while he looks for a job outside of college? While we struggle to maybe pay our first apartment together? You're asking me to risk it with a black man? Maybe a white man, but with a black man? Oh, hell no. What did the lady say to the older woman say to Tone Talks on that stream a couple weeks ago? Or a week ago, maybe. What is black women's fear? That they're going to build you up or build with you a bunch of crap, but they're going to build with you or build you up, and then you're going to leave them for a white woman. So they rather not build at all, wait at the finish line, and hope you choose them. And when you don't, shame you. I'll do bad all by myself, right? Yeah, you're right. You will. Literally. You think it's just a phrase. No, you will. Literally. I said it before. Look, Mr. Z be saying these things and I say them so often. And shout out to Dr. Thunder. He's right. I just be saying these things and sometimes I don't, stay on them or I say them often enough and I don't try to drive the point home. But I said it. Dear America, dear Black America, you're raising black women in general, but black women specifically, who may be great employees. They may have been great students to you black parents. She may be a great child, right? She might be a great kid. She is a horrible girlfriend and wife. And I hear you brothers, well, I'm not raising my daughter to be a pushover and be soft for you men. Yeah, that sounds nice. Have fun wiping her tears off her cheek. Well, I just raised her not to be loyal just to black men. Like I said, have fun wiping her tear off her cheek. For all of you that think, oh, it's just a black man thing. I'm not raising my child to be no pushover for you weak ass men. Raise, have your mothers raise you to be better. We're getting married at a higher rate than the black women. Oops. And now what? Right? So these ladies may truly be. Let's give them that. Okay, fine. They're going to college and they're graduating college, as Ebony K. Williams said. He said 7-1. You know what? We're not even going to debate it. Fine. For argument's sake, fine. Those numbers sound skewed as hell, but okay, fine. Fine. 7-1. 7-1. Okay, cool. So let's say black women are better students than black men, clearly. Okay. Black women are better employees than black women. All right, granted. Fine. For debate. Right? For argument's sake, fine. Forget just black men. Where are black women's insane marriage rate then? Right? Or is this when anti-blackness comes in? But wait a minute, black women said they can pull them white men. It's just that they're too loyal to black men. Okay, so if black women are saying that their issue is that they're too loyal to black men, fine. Right? The issue isn't white supremacy, anti-blackness coming from non-black men, white men, Latino men, Asian men. Fine. Black women said that's not the issue. The issue is that they're too loyal to black men. All right, granted. That's the argument. All right, we're going to stick to it. So we have all these kick-ass black women, and according to black women, they're the most educated group of people in America. Okay, fine, the most educated group of people in America, right? They're better students than black men. Okay. They're better employees than black men. Okay. And for some reason, not only are black men not marrying black women, non-black men are not marrying black women. Oh, but that's only because black men are too loyal to black women. Excuse me, black women, said that wrong. Black women are too loyal to black men. Meanwhile, Ebony K. Williams was with the white dude for 4 years. And there you go. Nothing to show for it. Travis Kelce X with him for 5 years. Hit him in the DM. Pursued him. Nothing to show for it. And this is coming from women like Chrissy, who's telling you, yeah, don't take a risk when it comes to black men, but take the risk when it comes to white men, right? Make yourself available in college and university for these non-black men, right? Wink and smile for non-black men. And so when Ebony K. Williams, who did that, right? Ebony K. Williams, who did that and now is on the other side, is saying, actually, maybe I should have took a chance on one of these brothers when I was at Chapel Hill or when I was in law school. Maybe I should have. Black women are saying, yeah, could you shut up and go away now? We liked it better when you were defecating on black men and pretty much saying black men are not on your level and black men are mediocre. We liked it better when you were calling black men mediocre. You're getting too close to the mammy territory now. You're a little too close. Stop it with the scarcity mindset. Stop telling us that men's stock goes up as they get older. Ooh, y'all know black women hate to hear that. You know women hate to hear that. Ooh. right? Let's see. And Brooklyn Coast TV says these women are so smug, don't give up on hobbies. Look, they're in the comments throwing a fit that Ebony K. Williams is speaking this way, right? And of course, the obligatory date out black women comments. Ain't that right, Yaminica? Of course. Of course, those comments are all in the comment section. Like I said, the stop the scare tactic comments, the stop the scarcity mindset comments. Of course, because they think you can think and feel your way and wish your way and right hoodoo and voodoo and akomi your way out of this issue. And everyone finds love at their own time and stop centering men and all those. Of course, all those comments, they all over it. Right? Ebony K. Williams is essentially saying, I might have miscalculated. And now black women are telling her to shut up and go away. Now that she's being a little bit forthright, now black women are saying, aren't y'all tired of this conversation? Y'all weren't tired of it 6 months ago, but now y'all tired. Oh, of course. And Lion says they especially hated the part when she brought up youth. Of course. Because as I said on my Christmas video, they have this obsession with what they feel is fairness. And it's not fair that because really, really they're throwing a fit. It's not fair that I went to college and he didn't, or that he dropped out of college. And I got my degree. Then I went to go get my master's. Then maybe I went to go get my PhD. I went to law school, right? It's not fair that I did all of this and I kissed white ass and maybe did something else with some white people. It's not fair that he went to go to trade school and he got him a little certificate and he still earns as much, if not more than me. And it's not fair that now that he earns, and even before he did, he gets to have more sexual access than I do. Which is not actually true. Y'all know it. It's not fair that he has a higher marriage rate than I do. And a higher interracial marriage rate than I do. It's not fair that black men get to do that and be that. Because what they really feel like, is that white supremacist society accepts you, black men, more than black women, which we know is a goddamn lie, but they feel that way, though. Their issue is that they feel like you're not exactly playing by the rules. And in their minds, yeah, there's black men in prison, yes. And there's black men that, their life is in shambles, we're going to be honest. But also, somehow, black men are also winning? Wait, what? And black men are winning in these kind of not prescribed ways? Truck driving brothers earning 65 and 70 and 75 and 100 and $120,000 a year with just the CDL and some sleepless nights, and they're not in debt to their eyeballs. right? Brothers all over, blue collar, they doing HVAC. They're doing all different type of blue collar work and earning, like I said, 65, 70, 75, 80, 90, 100. Do you know how enraging that is for certain black women? That's why you get excuse me, that's why you get the Kim Foster speaking about class and speaking about, well, it doesn't matter if he earns more than me. He doesn't value education. Just because he earns more than me, he's out of my class. Right? So, once again, we cover this to show how fickle these women are. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat to show how fickle these women are. That's another reason why we're covering this. They were clapping it up for her all of 5 and 6 months ago. They were clapping it up for her. They were celebrating her. They were, yeah, you go, girl. A bunch of women earning 28,000, 35,000, 40 grand a year felt some type of kinship and allyship with Ebony K. Williams because they felt like she was describing them in their life. Stop telling black women to settle. Ain't that right? Stop telling black women to settle. Tell black men to step it up. And remember, this is the backdrop is Ebony K. Williams was with the white man, and yet we telling black men to step it up. Right? Ebony K. Williams out of her own mouth said, yeah, I've dated them all. She said, I've been with them all. Right? And yet we still speak like that didn't happen, like she wasn't with the white dude. Look how fickle these women are. What do they call them? Fair weather friends? Now they want to shush her and push her out the back door. Because what we said is coming to fruition in front of everyone's faces. Once again, the internet will expose us all. Where you at, Chrissy? Uh-oh. Where you at, Kim Foster? I know what a black woman throwing a I know what a black woman throwing a temper tantrum looks like. Do you? And Indigo says line, oh, Yemanika mad at yet again. Yeah, of course. You know she gotta insult black men, and we all know why. We all know why. As I said before, it's real infuriating as a black man not being able to state the absolute obvious. When you see some of the way these sisters, huh? I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let that one go. Let that one go. It's just real infuriating not to be able to state the obvious. Because we know why they sound the way they sound for many of them. We know why they sound the way they sound. All that talk about black women don't have to be with black. Yaminica, you're in Hollywood, bruh. You're in Hollywood. If the white men were checking for you, you would be throwing them in black men's faces. We would see you everywhere, booed up and hugged up with your white man. You're in Hollywood. If you had it like that, everyone would know. You will be throwing this white man in black men's faces every chance you get. She all in the comments with the same BS. Every chance this woman get to punch at black men, she take it. As if it's not glaringly obvious why she sounds the way she does. As if her and Ebony K. Williams are the same people. Stop. Ebony K. Williams is slowly telling y'all what it really is. Would you do that, Yaminica? Ebony got all the way to the top. She was with a multi-millionaire white dude. Right? Now, with capacity, she was quote unquote with him. Whether that was a relationship or a situationship, could you pull that dude? Oh, goddamn. Well, Mr. Z. Right? All the women in the comments, we need to expand our options. Once again. So from now on, maybe the rest of the black community should stop questioning the black manosphere when we say, yeah, we know why she sounds like that. We know why she's doing that. We know why she's advocating for this. The issue is that y'all keep on putting the microphone just in front of black women to have them defecate on black men and to give their perspective on black men. So black women get to speak for black women, black children, and black men. Right? Right? We need to get in line with behind black women. Ain't that right? And we'll pause right here. Bruce on Wayne, this one you got me on. I don't got nothing on this one. This one you're gonna have to explain this one. Right? Bruce on Wayne said, I'm going to teach you how to read Creole. Live too. Talk about standing up with the Socratic method. Talk about standing up in front of the class. Right? And Trell says, but black women ain't black people. No, Trell, actually, black women are black people. They're the only ones that are black people. And they dictate who else is black people. According to black women, of course. Right? Black women are black people. They're the only ones that are truly black people, and they dictate who else is black people. And according to at least one other black woman in the comments, even if you have children even if a black woman has children with a white man, those children are black. Because once again, the mother is black. So I got into a little back and forth in the comments on IG, on Instagram, with a young lady. Of course, she deleted her comment. I screenshotted it, by the way. That's what I got to do with y'all. She deleted all her comments because I responded to her. She responded to a young lady, mixed young lady, dreads, light skin, of course, right? Who said, I'm the product of what did she say? I'm the product of a mixed relationship, and I'm gonna end up with a black man regardless, and because I understand how the non-black side treats you, etc., etc. Okay. And a black woman comes in the comments, of course, and starts to say, yeah, it doesn't matter because black women tend to raise better, more well-adjusted mixed children than black men, right? Of course, and they always have to do this whole thing of like, when we do it, it's different than when they do it. When they do it, it's because they hate themselves and they hate what they see in the mirror and they hate black women and their color is sexist and etc., etc. But when we do it, it's for a benign reason. It's for a loving reason. We're just so tired of black men, etc., etc. So to say black women raise better mixed children than black men, better and more well-adjusted children. So I responded to both of them. Responded to the mixed young lady saying, oh yeah, this other black woman, oh yeah, what she's telling you, because she didn't word it in how Mr. Z is saying it. Obviously, the passive-aggressive punches at black men. And I just came straight through the middle and said, what she's telling you is that black women raise better mixed kids than black men. This is her passive-aggressive way of saying it. Because what she's really saying is that black men are defective and we can't raise mixed children. Black women automatically raise better mixed children than black men. And the mixed sister responded to me, I don't care what she's saying, I'm going to end up with a black man because I love black men, da-da-da-da-da, etc., etc. I responded to her, well, get ready to be called pick me, preference, pick Misha, mammy, etc., etc. The other young lady responds to me and says, oh, is that what you got from my comments? Oh, you're projecting. Right? I was just stating my opinion based off of my experiences. Well, Mr. Z. Well, I was just stating my opinion based off of my experiences. And my experiences with black women like you is that y'all are passive aggressive, and what y'all really mean is not exactly what you say. Of course, she deleted all her comments afterward. But of course you did. I want to be very clear. This is much of the reason. I want to make that part of what I just said. I want to spread that. This is why we're open to debating these women. We have open panels. They can always come into the Black Manosphere. We will drop everyone from our channel and we can have a discussion. We are open to having a discussion with them, a debate with them, a conversation with them, etc., etc. Any one of these swirlers, divestors, black women in luxury, black women level up, hypergamous, etc., etc. But they're not open to having those conversations with us. They don't actually want to have to grapple with what we're saying. All that, like Ebony K. Will and the people in her comments, black men are not on our level. They're not going to college, and that's why we date out. There are more white women in college and university than white men too. Date out. We cover this number one to show how fickle black. Well, actually, that's number two to show how fickle these women are, but also not to just say we were right, but to show the evolution. Look at how you sounded 6 months ago. Does that mean that it's not, it's very likely that tomorrow or the day after Ebony K. Williams could turn around and give black men a good another swift kick, right? Very possible. But as of right now, she only proved not that we're right, but our assessment was correct. It's not just being right on the surface. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. It's why we were correct, why we were right. That our assessment of her and why she sounded the way she did was correct. It's a black woman, a college educated, upwardly mobile, somewhat famous black woman who has not only been in situation and relation with black men, but with non-black men. It's her throwing a temper tantrum. An adult at the time, almost 40-year-old temper tantrum. And that temper tantrum includes insulting black men. Now, you can call it what you want. You could call it, quote unquote, critiquing black men. You can call it constructive criticism. You could call it some type of weird form of encouragement. Right? You could call it whatever you want. It's insulting black men because she feels like she's being relegated to the least of us. The working class, blue collar black men. Ew. Right? The working class, blue collar black men. Who she is obviously above. Right? So we're covering this to say, first we were right, but not just that we were right. It's not just surface level we were right. We were right because we assessed the situation correctly. And we didn't shy away from the fact that we assessed the situation correctly and that we were correct in our assessment. Right? And then you can tie that to talks of, materialism and consumerism and this obsession with status and materialism and the obsession with defecating on other people, judging oneself by how high up above others you are. Right? And no placeholder. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. We assessed it correctly. Ebony K. Williams just wanted to make it a class thing. Class. Excuse me, not Ebony K. I'm sorry. Kim Foster. Kim Foster wanted to make it just a class thing. No, Kim Foster, she's throwing a temper tantrum. You know, much like you were throwing a temper tantrum a couple years ago. I said it. Many of you ladies are mean. You're condescending. You're snarky. You're sassy as all hell. And regardless of how attractive you are, you can't make it work not just with black men, with any man. Ebony K. Williams is a testament to that. Kim Foster, you don't play your cards right with this dude, you will also be a testament to that. You can't be insufferable and then hide behind your degree and hide behind, well, white women get to do it. Check that divorce rate for white women. Better yet, because y'all want to play games, check that gray divorce for white women. Check that separation for white women. They be married to this dude on paper. They haven't been living in the same house for 20 years. You can't be insufferable and then hide behind a degree. Dear women, dear black women, dear Western women, dear black women in America, you can't be mean and snarky and hide behind a degree. You can't be an a-hole and hide behind some career accomplishments. And hide. Well, white women get to do. No, other people aren't. White women aren't told to settle. The white woman gets to do it. White women aren't told that. Meanwhile, the white woman's marriage rate is crap too. Not as bad as black women, clearly. Birth out of wedlock rate for Latinas, 50+%. I like this one, Trill. And Trill says, white women go to college to find their man. At least the first one. Right? And as we said before, look how they were mocking those white women. Look, y'all remember when Chrissy was being so petty. Look how small those rings are. But they're going to be teachers? That's what I heard. They're going to be teachers? What's the salary for teachers? Y'all remember how petty? I covered it. I even played her saying it. Y'all remember how petty she was being? Her loser ass. That's why you're in your luxury apartment by your goddamn self. Look how small those rings are. That's what we're saying. All of this is just temper tantrum talk. Resentful at the world, angry at the world because you can't have it the way you want it, because it would never work that way. You're angry at white men, and black women, and now more and more Latina women. You're angry at Latina women because they're the exoticals, right? taking black men, but you never want to say that you actually care that they're quote unquote taking black men. You're mad at white women because, well, that's your competition. You're mad at white men because they didn't make you white women. You're mad at black men because they didn't make you white women. And they won't bow. Provide you with the lifestyle and shut up. What did the sister say on Daily Wrap Up Crew? Something along those lines. Pay and shut up. Protect, provide, and shut up. Didn't she say something like that? With a little smug look on her face when she said it too. They're throwing temper tantrums. And when they finally come off that high, a handful of them will give you just a smidge of honesty, like what we're getting from Ebony K. Williams. Just a smidge, just a teeny tiny bit. They'll tell you why they sounded the way they did. And even that, sometimes you're going to have to, ruffle through something and, work through it and kind of get to what they're actually saying. Rummage through some things and, okay, wait a minute. I think if I work through all these word salad and let me see, okay, I'm working through all the euphemisms and all the similes and the metaphor. Okay, I think I got it right there. Wait. Okay, I think what she's trying to say is I messed up and I should have took the guys in college more seriously. Oh, I remember there was this one guy and he wasn't actually bad looking. Maybe I should have. Okay, yeah, I put him in the friend zone. Okay, oh, okay. So this is what you were saying when you were speaking for the past hour. Once again, I would like to direct y'all to the video that BGS did about Obsidian speaking about why he sounds the way he sounds, and Ostefko speaking about why she sounds the way she sounds. Obsidian got it out in like 3 to 4 minutes. Ostefko, 30 minutes. I think it might have even been longer than that. Nitro, remember the assistant on somewhere on and Dr. T posted it somewhere on what Twitter or whatever. I missed the days when men would pay them what she said, die and leave you the life insurance money. Yeah, that's where they are with it. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And RO says, why is it black women can't or refuse to let me see how you say this. Why is it that black women can't or refuse that war is hell, especially for black men? But they understand fully well that war is hell when it involves their lily love white men. Okay. Give me a second and let me see how I'm going to answer this. I don't know if women are put in this situation to be as self-aware as men are. I'm not saying they are or they aren't. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know if they are put in the situation to not only just be as self-aware as men are, but to be as aware of their surroundings, as aware as about current events. That's why I speak about this all the time on my channel, right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, and then I always say go check out other non-Manosphere content. Right? I guarantee you, real life lore. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cover. Y'all check my community tab. I linked a whole bunch of brothers from the Black Manosphere on a video. What is this attorney's name? Some white LGBTQ attorney. I'm subscribed to her. I follow her stuff. I disagree with her a whole lot, but I like the information that she brings. Whatever. And You know, white LGBTQ woman. I said white LGBTQ woman that's left leaning. Guess what? She admitted 70% of her subscribers are men. Well, there you go. White woman who's LGBTQ, you want to know why? Because the content she produces is very historical, is very fact-based. Now Mr. Z disagrees with some of her takes. Even as a lefty, I disagree with some of her takes. But because she ain't talking about makeup and nails and hair and desirability, 70% of her subscribers are men. She just made a video going at the manosphere. I'm going to review it maybe tomorrow morning. Y'all get ready. And let me see if I could look up this lady's name while I'm speaking to y'all, because it's crazy. I'm subscribed to her, like, and I've been for a while, and I even added a video from her. Actually, let's do this. Give me 1 second while I right. What is her name again? Leisha Miller, right? Leisha Miller, that's the name of her channel. And for this white woman, and I'm saying all of this for a reason. White LGBTQ woman, for 70% of her subscribers to be men. I guarantee you can find similar on Cold Fusion, Real Life Lore, Polymatter, Visual Politic, Visual Economic, Caspian Report, etc., etc. I guarantee you, Mr. Beat, I didn't say Mr. Beast, I said Mr. Beat, etc., etc. The Vlog Brothers, I guarantee you it's similar for all of them. I guarantee you at least 2/3 are men for all of them. I'm saying that to say I don't know if women are raised to be aware of current events, of history, of facts. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm saying I don't know. And I think because of that, and I'm still answering your question, Aro, they have a very skewed view of the world. Right? And Common Sense TV says, "What's you found it? Okay, you found it. All right, right." And so what I'm saying is, I don't think they even understand white men. I think they just know that they want a particular life and a particular lifestyle, right? And so they're amenable to white men because, quite frankly, I think everyone in America has been raised to be amenable to white men, even black men. That's why we say decolonize your mind. I think everyone, quite frankly, everyone in the West, but definitely in America, has been raised to be amenable to white men. That includes obviously black women. So I don't think that they're raised to understand white men. I think they're raised to pursue wealth, pursue upward mobility. By the way, nothing wrong with these things. I'm not mocking them or making fun of them. And over the past 40 and 50 years, younger boomers, Xers, millennials have been raised that you find your humanity through materialism and consumerism. Right? So the ability to be stable is not good enough. Now it's about being extravagant, being opulent, having the absolute nicest things, being able to defecate on others. Because what else is there in a major city, right, in a notable country, France, Germany, America, Britain, etc., Canada, etc. All these countries act like they better, they're not. When the lights are always on, and if you pay your bills, your water is hot when it need to be, and it's cold when it need to be, right? Stability isn't good enough. You need to set yourself apart. How do you set yourself apart? By living in a nicer neighborhood, by driving a more expensive car, right? And for women, by having a man that provides you with that much better of a lifestyle. And for particularly black women, it's even more visceral. So I don't think they really understand the plight of the white man. They don't, and they don't care, quite frankly. They're just using him as a status marker. Sahel Potter, this is my point. Being a one percenter is everything. Right? This is a great comment, Spademan. They want that tomahawk steak while on the Titanic. And we saw that during COVID. I bring it up all the time, right? We were in the middle of Armageddon. We don't know what's going to happen day to day. COVID lockdowns, depending on the state you're living in, stay in place orders. Don't come outside unless you gotta go shopping for necessities. And yet, Kevin Samuels puts up a microphone and a camera and lets it roll, and you hear black women, only 50 years out of Jim Crow. Only 50 years out of Jim Crow, telling you not only what they not going to settle for, how men are not on the, black men are not on their level, who wants to be with average anyway, right? My black boyfriend I'm in my 20s. My black boyfriend is in his 20s. He's earning $75,000 a year, and I'm thinking about breaking up with him. We're hearing all of that in the middle of COVID-19. So what you're saying right here, Spain man, they want the tomahawk steak while on the Titanic. Literally, we just went through that a couple years ago. We literally had Mahogany Pink at the end of her video saying, while all these other women start to quote unquote date down, and I'm paraphrasing what she said. No, black women, we're going to keep on trying to date up. You mean that non-black women are realizing, oh crap, this is what comes with feminism? Is that maybe we're going to have to adjust our ideas? And you're telling black women that, no, let's keep on being delusional. Right? Y'all realize that right now, the wealthy are raging a war on working class people, which is just about all of us, white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise, in America. They came out of COVID-19 and said, yeah, we want all that wealth that we missed over the past couple of years. We want all of that. Oh, and y'all ain't go right back to work. Y'all was trying to stay out of. Yeah, we're gonna choke your ass out. And black people, black women, who largely on the socioeconomic bottom, are still talking about what they ain't gonna settle for and how black men are not on their level. Right? We're going through austerity measures. That this whole greedflation, stagflation, is just the wealthy trying to choke your ass out. Increasing interest rates, they're openly saying, yeah, we need to knock a couple more people off of these jobs. Yeah, we need to these people need to get fired. We're going to raise the interest rate. We need these people unemployed. We need to get unemployment back up to like 5-6%. How many black women know about that? Like none, because they don't follow that type of news. Of course not. They do too busy over here following the Travis Kelce situation. They too busy telling Ebony K. Williams to shut up and go away. Your job here is done. You defecated on black men for us about 6 months ago. That was good enough. You can go now. Don't tell us about how we might have to settle. Yeah, you look like you sounded too much like a mammy. That's what they worried about, right? That's what they're worried about. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So while we have some of the most insane, what they said, 40-year high of inflation or something dumb. People are feeling it. When you go to that grocery store, you feel that. Extreme political unrest in the country. And yet, black women are telling Ebony K. Williams to shut up because she's over here saying, yeah, maybe, excuse me, maybe y'all should take, pursuing men, or at least being open to meeting your future husband in college. Maybe y'all should take that a bit more seriously, black women. And black women are saying, yeah, how about you shut up now? Right? Trell, you talking about 2-for-1s? And Trell says they need to pair up with another black woman and offer a deal of 2 wives to productive brothers. We're past needing dual income houses. We're at what's that territory? You got me right here. Tertiary income levels. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Ah, I never actually use that word. I say it every once in a blue moon, but I never actually use it. There you go. New word in the vocabulary. I'm gonna start using that word like every other day for like a week, right? But 2 wives. I mean, ugh, right? And I think that is where we are. We're being honest about the landscape here. We're being honest about where people are financially. Remember, black men in the black manosphere were the ones that really came to the table with the numbers. Chrissy ain't say nothing about no money. Outside of you better be a baller, but these women weren't speaking like that. We let them know how delusional they were with just being like, hey, by the way, this is what men make and this is how they make it. Median household income in America, 70 grand. What the hell are you ladies talking about? Y'all were living vicariously through Ebony K. Williams until, I don't know, like yesterday. Right? Y'all were living vicariously through her until yesterday. Until whenever that video aired. So if it's on the grill, whenever it aired, that's when y'all stopped. But remember, it was black men that came to the door or came to the table with By the way, only 10 or so percent of Americans earn $100,000 a year or more. The median household income is 70 grand, $70,000 a year. The average new house is going for what, some 430 some odd $1,000 now, 450 something around there. And it was at a high of what? At one point was it at 480 something or something? Insane, right? It was black men like Mr. Z that came in the door and said, by the way, 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. I didn't say black people, I said Americans. 60% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency. What are you women talking about? Dear black women, what are you talking about? Wasn't it Mr. Z and others that came to the table with, by the way, like the median income for women, I didn't say average, I said median income for women is like less than $30,000 a year. At one point, wasn't it like 25? What's all this delusional talk? Right? Then when we started getting from, the Jason Blacks and whatnot, your average new car price is like $50,000. What are y'all talking about? And the vast majority of you could not afford that, dear black women. Which I could do battle by myself. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. And a handful of black women that are upwardly mobile, talking way too loud, because the only real kinship they have with other black women is black men ain't ish. While y'all are other black women's either class enemy or social status and income enemy. And because a handful of you upwardly mobile, college educated, maybe high degreed women, black women, are having issues in your dating lives, now you walking around the black community and the dominant society on a blowhorn. Black men ain't this. Black men don't want to build. Black men this. Black men colorist, sexist, futurist, texturist. Because your love life is trash. Because, yeah, like I keep on saying, yeah, you may have been a good student. You might be a good employee. But you're a horrible girlfriend or wife. That's why you can't get or damn keep a man. You bought in hook, line, and sinker to all this weirdo neoliberal talk. You are the one who will let economists define love. Define what should be the parameters of your relationship. A bunch of old and middle-aged white men. Economists of all people, which by the way is a social science. And Detroit says, Hazy, I checked out Leisure Miller's channel, and I think you're trying to say she has some points of the manosphere. The question is, which manosphere is she going in at? You know, she's talking about the white manosphere for the most part, right? And Detroit said, Mostly her subscribers are 67% women and 32% men. I mean, excuse me, I said that way backwards. Mostly her subscribers are men 67% and women about 32%. Of course. And that's what she was speaking to. She said 70-30, but yeah, right? Of course. And that was my that's what I was saying to RO. Is like I don't think black women really, and women in general, I don't think they don't care about men, right? They don't. This is not about caring about you, or men in general, right? They might care about their individual husband or boyfriend or obviously their son or whatever, but they don't. When it comes to men, they don't think about these things on a macro level necessarily. Like they think that they need a leg up societally, so they want to have these mechanisms put in place to benefit them and other women, right? Particularly for black women, obviously other black women, not as much as her individually though, but you know, better other black women, but they think you as a man, it just happens for you, right? You don't need systems put in place. They think white men are white men in a vacuum. Like this society didn't make white men white men. And by the way, when I say that, I mean what white men have become politically and socially and economically in our society. Not just phenotypical white men, but what it means to be a white man politically, socially, and economically in this society. When people think of white men, what's the first thing that comes to their mind? At least a stable man, maybe even a rich man, obviously, that lives a certain type of life with, at least at the very lowest rung, a modicum of some type of influence in his community. They think that exists in a vacuum. That white men didn't have to be made white men politically. That you have to put things in place. There are mechanisms that are put in place to make men men, to make women women. That when they say they're just, no, it's not about being white women. We just want to be treated like women. No, you want to be treated like a upper middle class white woman. Shout out to the Roger Report. And as he said, you're saying six figures, you're saying $100,000 because you don't know money. What you're actually asking for is $1 million lifestyle. Right? And by the way, I don't even begrudge, I understand the society we live in. I don't begrudge black women for pursuing these things. But call it what it is. That way, if you lose, we know why you lost. And if you're a bitch, we know why you are that way. Stop hiding behind black men ain't ish and black men are colorist and texturist and featurist and no, call it what it is. Oh, look, I'm trying to be an upper middle class white woman and y'all ain't putting me where in the position I need to be. Call it what it is. We're throwing a temper tantrum. We're throwing a tantrum all across the society because we didn't actually sign up for this part. Wait a minute. We thought we were going to go to college or university and then, go to grad school or go to med school or go to law school. And then when we come out, right, we had all our fun in our younger years and we had, sex with whoever and fun with whoever and we played whoever and we had certain men in the friend zone and we had, the beta male orbiters, et cetera, et cetera. We thought when we were ready to settle down, then we could eeny, meeny, miny, mo and choose which one of these men we would turn into husbands. And then that man would provide us with the universe. And I can work for 2, 3, 5 years, take my career seriously, elevate to the highest heights, get the corner office, and then leave all of that behind because my man is, partner at another firm and he earns $500,000 a year. and I could just be a stay-at-home mom as long as I want. And then when I no longer want to be a stay-at-home mom, then I just jump right back into my career and I'm back in the corner office. Right? And because that is not how this is going, women in general across the West, definitely in America, are throwing a fit. What did we see from what's her name again? The white Courtney Ryan. Whenever she interviewed those young women, what are they saying? How do they sound? Didn't even one of them say, "Oh, if that's the case, if men are only earning that around my, oh, well, I guess I'll be single forever." And that wasn't even a black woman who said that, right? And RO says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Black women spent the last 60 years bleaching their blackness and stealing from black men instead of aggregating and building with black men. Shame on them. They thought they had a way out. They thought they saw an escape hatch. They saw an escape hatch. Especially for black feminists. I mean, card carrying black feminists, they thought they had an escape hatch. Other black women just wanted to do what they wanted to do and tell you to F off when they want to tell you to F off. But black feminists had other plans for them. Now all of them are looking sick. A handful of black women coming out of the 70s and the 80s did end up with the white man. And a handful of them did get those careers off the ground and became high powered attorneys, right, in the private sector. And a handful of them got to become professors and, right? And I'm not talking about adjunct professors. I'm talking about, like, professors at some of your Ivies. A handful of them did get to do that. They got to pursue and get the dream, right? And now they're in a loving relationship with their white wife. You heard me right. Right? They're in their 70s and, former Black Panthers. Gave black men the middle finger. The second the society opened up, they were teaching at somebody's Ivy League. And they never turned back. Yeah, there are some black women that got to live that dream. The mini Oprahs, right? The boomers that are mini Oprahs. And black women, let me tell you, your average black woman took from herself, took from black children, took from black men to put fuel in the tank for angry, bitter, wannabe white women, black feminists. We put all of our backing. See, yes, Barack Obama was the first black president, but we put all of our backing, whether knowingly or unknowingly, whether it was taken from us on some BLM type of scheme or whether we offered it. The black community put all of this energy behind elevating the Oprahs of the world. See, the part that black, and I'm gonna cover it because I see Pascal Robert from This Is Revolution was speaking about black women and he had a sister on. I saw that, But I had to do this stream, so we'll talk about it later. That might be like I got a stream I got to do tomorrow morning. I got a stream I might have to do tomorrow afternoon, right? Well, y'all keeping me busy. But the black community put all of this energy behind black women. All right, fine. We're coming, second wave feminism, and it's woman power. Cool. And what I put money, what brothers thought, these well-meaning brothers, they thought black women were going to turn around and do right by black men. Ha! Joke's on you and your sons and your grandsons. What really happened was the black community became BLM before there was ever a BLM. The blood, the lies, the memories of black men to advance black women and black LGBTQ. Why they give you the birdie and go onto these college and university campuses and call you on top of homophobic, transphobic, sexist, misogynist, failed white patriarchal pigs. The proverbial black woman who's on a college campus speaking about how horrible black men are, not even from her own experiences. Because low key, her dad is sending her a couple $100 here and there as often as he can. She's not even speaking about her own experiences. Right? The quiet part out loud is the petite bourgeoisie of the black community is majority black women. Ooh, goddamn, Mr. Z. I've covered this before. That's the quiet part out loud. Is that the petite bourgeoisie of the black community is majority black women. The political class of the black community is majority black women. Uh-oh. The clergy of the black community is largely black women. God damn. The church of the black community is largely black women. Ooh. What black men are throwing a fit about is it, and shout out to BGS. If you got the rings of power and influence in the black community, then why aren't you doing for black people? You barely doing for your daughters and you ain't doing for your sons. Uh-oh. Exactly, Indigo. That secondhand vicarious trauma. Right? That's why y'all realize you openly have black women on the interwebs in comments saying, yeah, this is not my experience, but yeah, my dad was part of my life, but yeah, my brother's a great man and he's a loving father, but yeah, my husband, yeah, I found the love of my life, but huh. The black men of my life are great, but black men ain't ish. We have a black men ain't ish industrial complex in the black community. Brought to you by racist white society, both on the left and the right. Some opportunist black women who might have not even lived that life. And some bitter, angry black women who are mad about who didn't want them when they were children. Who wasn't attracted to them when they were children. The men that they felt like they should have had when they were young adults. The men that ain't choosing them now that they're middle age or old. And we could circle that right back to Ebony K. Williams by saying that is why they're telling her to shut up and go away now. You served your purpose. Your purpose was to defecate on black men for us upwardly mobile, aspiring black women, and even for us black women that aren't, but we feel slighted because our billionaire didn't come and save us from Walmart yet. So hell, exactly. It's a dream deferred. Z. They want Chris Evans to accept them. Exactly. And don't forget that black women threw a fit when Chris Evans popped up with the white girl too. Not as much as Travis Kelsey though. And the black community is gonna have to come to terms with that. See, one thing you gotta appreciate about the right is the right says, "Oh, if this is what it is, all right then. We know what to do with this." Oh, the women are materialistic and consumer. Okay, we'll just tell them, "Hey, get a man then. If you get married, then you can buy nice things. There you go. Get your man. Make sure he got his head on right, and there you go. Make it work with him. You got money. You'll be all right. Why they choke out that man? But you'll be all right. We're gonna sell him on some do for self, go to the gym, get a hobby, and start a business. We're gonna sell him on that type of stuff. But get your man, get married, pop out a couple of kids. Obviously, they're really selling this to white women, and you'll be all right. Not the left. Oh no. The left ignores all the women that sound absolutely crazy. All the women on the left that want some type of mixture of feminism and female empowerment while also keeping the provider protector part of patriarchy. The left ignores those women. Oh no, which is like a loud ass majority. The left ignores those women, act like those women don't exist. The right says we got the answer for you. Get married. Pop out some kids, dear white women. The left says, I don't know what's going on. What the women are what are the women complaining about? Oh what? Oh no, I didn't hear you. Say that again. I still didn't hear you. Say that one more again. I still didn't hear you. As I said before, if we see the comments coming from these women, the left sees it too. The black academics see it too. The Professor Crunk see it too. Pascal, all these names that I've said before, I'm not gonna say them again. I was about to say Pascal Robert only because this is Revolution. I just referenced them earlier. But if we see these comments coming from black women, they see it too. If we see these videos and these comments coming from white women, they see it too. All those TikTok videos of women, namely white women, but those young women crying in their car, crying about how hard work is, how they just came off of a 12-hour shift, etc., etc. Crying about their college student loan debt, they don't ever think they're going to get from under it. If we see those videos, all of your technocrats see it too. That's your black, your white, your Latino, your Asian technocrats. They see it too. If we're talking about Ebony K. Williams, they see it too. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. If we're saying it, they see it. If we see it, they see it. That big debacle that happened with Ebony K. Williams months ago, right? Like I said, they saw those women dancing on Kobe's grave. They saw the women dancing on Kevin's grave, Kevin Samuel's grave, right? They saw the women wishing Jamie Foxx death. If we see those comments, those excuse me, all the notable people see the comments too. And all that means is that this society ill prepared women for the position that they have them in right now. You did not prepare them for true egalitarianism. You did not sell them on that. On paper, you didn't tell them what it meant for their intimate lives. You did not tell the women what it meant for their intimate lives. That's how you get at Ebony K. Williams. That's what Iyanla Vanzant was trying to tell her. Right? That's what Tyler Perry was trying to tell black women a couple weeks ago. Right? You did not prepare them for that. That's what um Liz Mundy is saying. That's what what's Slaughter. I can't remember her first name. Her first and middle name. I want to say Anne Marie Slaughter, but yeah, Miss Slaughter will just say that. That's what they're saying to women in general, but in the case of Tyler Perry and Iyanla Vanzant, towards black women specifically. And they just can't hear it. And I think that's okay. Let the society burn then. Because y'all raised a bunch of entitled brat little girls in women's bodies. Let the birth rate continue to fall through the floor. Let the marriage rate continue to fall through the floor. Let the social cohesion rip apart. Let families slowly disappear. Be a thing that the elites practice just for show. Right? Fine then. Because you raised a bunch of entitled brat daughters. Everybody's speaking about the men. The men are throwing a fit because you raised them to be more egalitarian, and then they were, and then the women said, actually, the women of their own age said, see what I actually wanted was for you to still pay for everything and still be willing to put your life on the line, but also do household chores and wash the dishes and sweep and shut up and like let me lead. But I say that I let you lead, you know? And I occasionally, stroke your ego by saying how great of a man you are, but really I run things and you pay for it, right? Like, can't we have like a Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey type of relationship? Like, that's my ideal situation. That you big me all the time and you say how you need me and you know, how you would be nothing without me and how the world revolves around you and I'm the best thing for you and the best thing that ever happened to you. Meanwhile, your entire life was built before me. No one would know who I am if it wasn't for you. I just would have been a two-time dope boys chick if it wasn't for you. Can't we just have that situation? That type of getup? Can't we just, And that's the goal, truly. I'm glad I thought about it. That is the goal. To be Marjorie Harvey. To be Marjorie Harvey. That is the goal. To be Remy Ma. That is the goal. To be Jada Pinkett. That is the goal. Really to be Jada. Really to be Marjorie. You imagine I got to turn you down, and to a lesser extent, Boyce Watkins' wife. I got to turn you down. I got to put you in the friend zone and then double back to you decades later. And you dropped everything for me in the case of Steve Harvey. In the case of Jada, I get to disrespect you in your own home. Jada Pinkett's damn career is because of Will. Not the beginning, obviously. Let's be clear. She would have did all of that before him. But everything pretty much post their marriage, she just would have been another Jasmine Guy if it wasn't for Will Smith. The goal is to be Jada Pinkett, is to be Marjorie Harvey. I get to have sex in the home with the younger dude, and you stay. I get to have our daughter stand there writing love notes to a man she never met, who I'm still in love with, who's been dead for how damn long, and you still stay. I get to record you in the house even when you tell me not to, and you still stay. I get to damn near stick you on another man in front of everyone on camera, and you still stay. Right? I get to go to prison for what, 6, 7 years while you raise my child who's not even biologically your child. You come to see me in prison every day. I tell you to slow down, so you come every other day. And then I cheat on you. Yeah. You get to save me from the streets. You gave my children, who are not biologically your children, your last name, instantly elevating them. You treat my daughter better than you treat any of your biological children. Yikes. As a matter of fact, my daughter, who's not biologically your child, is the most famous of all the children, including your biological children. And I still cheat on you. God damn. And I've heard this one before, Spain Man. What if he's stuck because she knows his dirty secrets? That, but if we, and if we found out that the brother was, let's say, limp wristed, that he was out here with other dudes, what would that change? Right? What would that change? If we found out that he quote unquote experimented, what would that change? And look at the era we're living in anyway, right? Because I heard about the rumors about him and what's his name, Martin. I heard him. I heard him. I heard him. Right? Yeah, he might be a more silver fox bit of like sex symbol for some of the Xers, black women. Yeah, but this ain't like the late '90s anymore, early aughts. Right? This is not the era of Bad Boys One or even Two. Right? So on that note, um, RO says, let's pause right here. RO says, black women just don't understand. No black man, no protection. Once Billy and Brad done using the black woman to displace, eradicate black men, back to the plantation she goes. I agree with that. I agree with that. But like I said, I don't look. To be frank with you, I don't think the majority of black women, the majority of women, the majority of black women, they're not seeing past their nose. They don't see past their nose, right? It's almost as if you ever see, and even maybe some of us have done it. You ever speed in front of a cop, right? Like you didn't even realize that the cop was right there. The cop is literally sitting right next to you, maybe in traffic, right? Or he's like two cars in front of you in the left lane or the right lane, and you speed past him. And maybe he stops you, maybe he doesn't, but you didn't even realize that that cop was sitting there. Or maybe he's a car or two behind you. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not, they don't care. They're not aware. They're just doing what they want to do. And to whatever with the consequences, to hell with the consequences. I would argue most people, most women, they're just day to day. They do what they want to do, how they want to do it. They just hate the consequences, right? So they're socialized that mid ain't ish from grandma and auntie and mom and maybe even dad, if we're gonna be honest. So they go to school. A handful of them go to more integrated schools. They let the white boy smash, but they're not they know about that. Especially if you talk about Gen Z. Yeah, they hear this racism stuff, whatever. But whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's back then. Y'all remember how shocked some black people were acting with the tiki torch thing in Charlottesville? Oh my god, all these young white men. Like Mr. Z's like, what y'all thought America changed? Oh, just because he's 21 and 22 and you might find him attractive, you might have thrown the vagina towards him, you think that he doesn't operate that way? right? So what I'm saying, my long-winded roundabout way of answering RO is like I think people are just living the life that they want to live, unplanned, just doing what they want to do, how they want to do it. That includes black women. And so they're saying protection and provision, but they're not actually thinking what goes into that, how to vet men, how to look around for this outside of some very like in your face markers. They're not thinking about that. They just find who they find attractive. They have sex with him. If he have stuff, excuse me, great. If he doesn't, well, right. They're hoping Billy and Brad take him seriously, but if he doesn't, well, and it's not like most of these, shout out to Dr. Thunder, what's going on, Doc? But it's not like most of these people are like, they're not, especially when you're speaking about Gen Z, they're not students of history in that way. Young black women, they're not students of history in that way. Younger millennials, like I said, what's her name? Leisure Miller? Miller? I said Leisure Miller because I'm so used to making fun of Yanny with this I want to be a kept woman of leisure thing, right? But yeah, the Miller, we'll say Miss Miller. What did Miss Miller say? Like 70% of her subscribers are men. And I would argue all of the channels I listed earlier, from Casper Report to Real Life Lore to Cold Fusion, name them all. I guarantee you their numbers are similar, maybe even more stark. 75-25 split. And I say that to say we're the ones as men in the black community, even black men, we're the ones who care about geopolitics and history and all of this, right? The history of war and you know, we're subscribed to mega projects and all this other stuff. That's men, right? And excuse me, had to sneeze real quick. So to answer you in a long roundabout way, these people aren't looking past their nose, right? So when we say, no protection, when Billy's done with you, he's gonna toss you. You gotta remember, we're talking about like people that watch these Disney movies and in a weird way almost see them as reality, right? Like while we're speaking about, hey, women, this is how this goes, this is this. Like you can't tell me how love works, and you never know when God says it's time, and like, they just start pulling things out of the air to like, you know, when you try to get concrete with numbers and history and data and research and pew this and peer reviewed that's when they start coming out of the woodworks with airy fairy stuff, right? And exactly, Trell, no situational awareness, right? And that's all. I think that's how we get to the way the ladies sound now. Right. I think that's how we get to this, and about to end out, but that's all. That's how we get to Ebony K. Williams giving us, you know, a bit of honesty here, and the lady saying, "Yeah, could you shut up and go away now?" Right? Vacate. Get out of here. Scram. Right? The ladies are telling they didn't want Ebony K. Williams to shut up 5 and 6 months ago. Now they tell her to shut up and go away because she's being honest that a your best years or your younger years for not just childbirth, but for potentially finding a particular type of man, and if you want this, and what they're saying is, yeah, no, that sounds too formulaic. Why can't I just feel my way through things and then, magically have what I'm looking for just pop up out of nowhere? They're telling the lady who lived the life that they're trying to live that she's trying to sell them on scarcity mindset. Go figure. Which is the same thing that Iyanla Vanzant, excuse me, which is the same thing they said to Iyanla Vanzant. Which is the same thing they said to Tyler Perry. These people are trying to tell you something, and we got black women saying, yeah, but nah, right? So on that note, everyone, we will pause right here, right? Spain Man said the data has scarcity mindset too. Then they don't want to hear none of that. Like I said, what was it after the age of 42? I want to say it was 42, but I don't remember exactly. And I was looking for it earlier, and I don't know if I'm typing the question in wrong, but it kept on like not showing me what I was looking for. But I want to say after the age of 42, that's when the marriage rate like goes down. Like your chances of being married, like take a nosedive for real, for real. But you know, yeah. At the end of the day, we covered this today to show that we knew what we were talking about. Number one. Number two, to show how fickle many of these people are. Right? They were riding with her, flags waving in the air, black men ain't ish flags waving in the air, shooting their cannons with the fireworks that say black men ain't ish, with a blimp that says black men ain't ish. Right? Just 5, 6 months ago. Now they're telling Ebony K. Williams to shut up because she's saying, ladies, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but right? Oh no, I did not see this. And Spanman says, y'all see the Medium Man post with the woman saying screw the data because of what she sees in public? Wait a minute. Let me see how many of y'all remember this. When Mr. Z first made himself known in the Black Manosphere, what did I tell y'all the ladies were saying? Let me see if y'all remember. If Neymar was here, he would remember. What did I say the ladies would say when you present all the data and facts to them? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. Right? And thank you for that, Spain Man. Y'all see what the Medium Man post with the woman saying screw the data because of what she sees in public? Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe it's taking a while to populate. I said, and this is what I used to say, and I need to bring it back now. Obviously, women say "fuck your facts," and excuse my language, everyone. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Women say "fuck your facts." Y'all don't remember Z saying that years ago? When you come with the data and the history and the especially, and when we say data, like we just saying the word data, and people are like, what do y'all mean? No, when you show, hey, by the way, let's say average age for first time marriages is 27.8 or whatever it is, right? And if you say that and you say, by the way, the average first time marriage for black women is such and such, I think it's 32 years old or something like that, or 36 or something, right? If that woman perceives that, if that black woman perceives that as a slight, or you're trying to, you know, take a hit on black women, she'll say, fuck your facts. If you say, and excuse my language, everyone, for those of you, sensitive ears, I'm not calling you sensitive. I'm just saying I'm saying F your facts because that is what they're saying. If we speak about if you tell black women, hey, by the way, all this crazy talk, like 2/3 of men never earn more than $65,000 a year, right? For all the women that say, well, white men provide this, and they got 401ks and they have this and they have that, and you're like, actually, 2/3 of men in America, I didn't just say black men, earn less than $65,000 a year. She will say, fuck your facts, right? She will say, fuck your facts because your facts are getting in the way of this delusion. That's another one. 70% of all mothers work. It's really closer to like 75, but 70% of all mothers work. You tell them, fuck your facts, right? And they say, fuck your facts. No, these are the facts. You imagine. And by the way, that young lady is not the first. Who had it where was it on Kevin's show that a woman said that also? I'm trying to remember because we've seen this multiple times where they say like, I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm talking about what I see. This is not like the first time, right? And that is very frightening. When we start doing the whole like, I'm not. I love using numbers. I love speaking data. I love speaking facts, right? Especially not misinterpreted facts. But it's not about bludgeoning people over the head with it all the time. That's something I had to grow into, by the way. But on the other side of that, if for you, you're saying, yo, F all of that. If I can't observe it, if I can't see it, then it doesn't exist. Solipsism much. It doesn't exist. And that is frightening. It's frightening. What we're getting into that super feeling thing. It's about how I feel and what I think, right? And Mr. Shook to you says anecdotal experiences at best. Those experiences are rigged because they are judging from the perspective of friends and family, which is naturally biased. And that's why you notice these people have a very very visceral response to some of these subjects. They're getting this weird ass emotion. I said it already, right? Like they're using some of these conversations we're having on definitely the things that they get up to in their black women empowerment spaces and their black women spaces. This is like Grams watching the soaps back in the day, right? This is grandma watching the soaps back in the day. And this is some of our older siblings and cousins, the women, watching their reality TV shows, you know, a few years ago. And some now, obviously, but this is all this internet talk to them is just an emotional high and low. They put in the way they slot this in their mind, and Mr. Z is not a psychologist, once again, obviously. The way they slot this in their mind, it goes in this, I would argue, it goes in the same slot as like reality TV show. Right? This is not real to them. Now, it's very visceral to them. Their response is very visceral. While we're trying to have oftentimes a more academic conversation and try to parse through these things and break them down and try to see how did we get here? Why do black women sound like this? And what about the history? And that's why we in the black manosphere alone, we're debating each other. Well, if we build Wakanda, then maybe. Of course, you have the brothers that say to hell with it all, but then you have the other brothers. No, they acted like this because we need to build Wakanda. We need to put them in the best situation ever in the history of humanity, and then they will act this way, right? That is not how they're taking it. Even Chrissy said it herself. What's wrong with a little fantasy? Chrissy knows she's selling a bunch of lies. She knows she is. She's in the business of selling black women hope and escapism. She knows she is. And that's what this is really about. That's what Ebony K. Williams shattered a little bit for them. That hope and escapism. Right? And what the ladies are saying, we need that. We can't deal with the reality of this life, of this inflation, of this precarity. We need the hope and escapism. We need the fantasy. We need the mythical, magical white man. That's why Crystalline Kerosene told Kevin Samuels, yeah, these women ain't even losing weight for the white man. They're not even losing weight for the potential white man. Because it's all a game to them. This is reality TV show talk to them. The response is very visceral, but they slot this in on, pop culture reality TV show. That's why their references are TV shows, reality TV shows, celebrity stuff. We speak about Benazir Bhutto, Che Guevara, Mao, Putin, Hitler, right? Justin Trudeau. Name any person in history we talk about. Genghis Khan. We because that's what we're talking about over here. Toussaint Louverture. Name them. That's what we're talking about over here. Right? That's not what they're talking about over there. You know that's not what they're talking about. Because once you start referencing history, especially history outside of this country, oh, they don't got nothing for you. I'm the one who spoke to Paris Milan and said, oh, by the way, the college enrollment is 60-40 split around the country. She said, I'm talking about black men. She tried to do the whole black men ain't this and black men are the worst. And I was like, by the way, I'm talking about black men. There you go. Don't tell me about what else is going on in the country. Don't tell me about what else is going on in this environment that's putting men in this position in general. That's causing young men not to want to pursue college and university, right? Or don't think it's feasible or not interested. I don't want to. I'm talking about black men not being ish. I'm talking about black men being trash. That's what we're talking about today. And that's what we were speaking about yesterday. And that's what we're going to be speaking about tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after and the day after. Right? That's what all this is. So, we will continue to speak about black men, black women intimacy or the lack thereof. Because, like Tone said, that's the way I can get the data through. But not for black men. We have spoken on all of our channels and not mentioned black women once. Speak politics, speak history, speak everything, sports, speak cars, and not mention black women or women once. That's possible over here, right? Even the way I'm speaking about Ebony K. Williams, it wasn't just to poke fun at her. It's to say, Mr. Z saw this coming from a million miles away because I can hear black women temper tantrum. I know how to interpret black women temper tantrum. I know this is what wasn't about her critiquing black men and saying, hey, black men, step it up. Look, there's some good black women over here, and we just want somebody that's a bit equally yoked. No, I know that's not what she was saying. And many of you knew that's not what she was saying. We knew this was temper tantrum. And that's why I covered it from the angle I did. Because listen, read the comments from Yaminica on the page, on the Instagram page. Under the video, that's not anything loving or not even a little slight critique or any of that. No, that's temper tantrum. That's I'm built like this. I look like this. I can't get or keep the type of man I want. I can't even get the white man that I could throw in black men's faces. So every chance I get, excuse me, and because the rest of black community allows me to do it and never call me out because everyone knows why I sound the way I do, but nobody has the balls to say it. and no one has the ovaries to say it. Right? That's not a critique. That's a temper tantrum. Yaminica has been throwing a temper tantrum for how long? We know what that is, right? And on that note, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease, right? And y'all got me almost 3 hours. Jesus. We covered this. It was important. Um, it's important because we called it for what it is. Ebony was throwing a temper tantrum 5 and 6 months ago. That's what this was about. We were right then. We are right now. And all the people that attempted to sneak in their little issues with black men behind Ebony K. Williams, now what? Chrissy and Yanni and Kim Foster, and now what? Right? My bad, y'all. Oh, got you dead. Anyway, all right, y'all. So, um, yeah. On that note, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Watch this, y'all. And other non-Manosphere content, right? See, where are the ladies? You know where the ladies are? They're watching think pieces from Kim Foster. They're watching things from, you know, Chrissy and Yanni. That's where the ladies are. From Miss Miller. And for Yvette, Yvette even said it, years and years and years ago. I think Army Say Frimpong was still part of her channel at that time when she was, kind of lamenting that it's mainly men that watch her. Yeah, because you talking facts. Spade Man, I was in the queue. He just had me waiting way too long. And Spade Man says, I got to finish the star video. I was in the queue, right? He just had me waiting way too long. And, shout out to the brother, the Roger Report. I don't think he'll mind me saying this, but, he called in and he, and I got to shout him out. He was like, "Hey Z, this is what's going on." Da, da, da. And he informed me, and shout out to the brother, um, for believing in me enough to want me to call in and maybe represent. So yeah, I definitely respect that, and I hope I do a good job at representing us whenever I go up on these things. I try to make sure I know I'm not just speaking for me, right? So yeah. And Charles will bring his late ass here now when I'm literally doing my outro. And Indigo says I didn't watch it yet. Yeah, now I have to go watch the whole thing, right? Because obviously I listened in a little bit, but that wasn't just the only topic he was covering. Um and yeah. So um Yeah, that wasn't the only topic he was covering. And obviously, I was listening when I was in the queue, but yeah, it took too long, and I had things to do. So yeah, and you know, quick tip, future reference for anyone that next time there's a subject like this that pop up on one of these people's channel, it's just simple. Like, hey, the reason why there's a black manosphere and there will continue to be a black manosphere is because yes, there are issues with between black men and black women, and for all of the well, you don't define yourself by women, and that's never been a thing, right? It's never been a thing. There was another brother, I know he frequents Star's channel, and you just, yeah, just talking, right? One of those bootstrap bros. Shout out to Dr. Thunder, right? So, yeah, I'm actually gonna probably listen to that right now. And maybe we'll do a stream about that. I got so many streams to do. Oh, what were y'all saying earlier? What was the other thing I gotta listen to and cover? Let me see if I remember. Put it in the comments. Right, it was another thing that I said I had to review or cover. I don't remember. Right. Anyway, on that note, everyone, like I said, y'all go check out Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Now apologize to me like you're Ebony K. Williams. Oh man. Spademan said, I found myself slightly triggered that men were riding so hard against this space. Well, we'll see him in divorce court, Spademan. We'll see him in divorce court, right? Or we'll see their sons in divorce court. Don't worry about it. We'll see them when they're crying themselves to sleep at night. Yeah, even grown ass men. We'll see them when they're crying in the shower. Don't worry about it. I don't mean that literally, by the way. Ew. But yeah, don't worry about it. It sounds funny now, right? What Jason Black call us, the whitest sphere? Yeah, sound funny. They could go ahead and continue to ride against this space all they want, find themselves being another Steve Harvey, another Boyce Watkins. All that crap sound nice. All that, yeah, these soft ass men, they over there complaining about the women. Just, do right by yourself. Look for yourself. Work on yourself. Lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. Yeah, that sound nice. Passport OG, I did my whole intro was about that. I think I did that did I do that last video? But yeah. Yeah, the ladies are throwing a fit because, Travis Kelce picked, is purportedly, dating, and even that's still somewhat of a rumor, but pretty confirmed now, but still somewhat of a rumor. Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift, and yeah, black women over here embarrassing the hell out of themselves all over the internet, you know. And then other black women saying, "Oh, I don't even know what's the not all black women. We don't all feel this way." Yeah, sound nice. Tell those black women stop embarrassing you by feeling like the white dude should have stayed dating black women because he might have dated a couple. What? And the quietest kept part is she's the one who hit on him. He was just liking her pictures. She's the one who slid into his DM. That's the part they don't tell you because it's embarrassing. All that talk, and I said it earlier. After this, we definitely got to close out. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. right? All that talk about what they won't do for a black man, they not settling this, they would rather drag their ass on hot coal before they propose. They rather do this and da da da. And every time we hear one of these weirdo stories, it's a Jodie Turner Smith. I keep on forgetting what her name is. It's Travis Kelce's ex. They're the ones who initiate the conversation, right? They're the ones who's proposing. They're having one night stands with the white dude, right? All these black women have all these standards for black men. Kayla Nicole, thank you. All these standards for black men. What they not gonna do for black men. White man walk in the room, all those rules go out the window. One night stands, proposing, shooting a shot, smiling. McDonald's smile when the white man walk in the room. Being agreeable and nice and deferring to him and all of it. Right? And now, see, I sit it, y'all. Much of the reason why we have women like this on the internet, and it was always going to be a thing. Yes, it's a minority of a minority of a minority. Even, some of the swirlers and divestors wouldn't embarrass themselves like this, but a handful of them will. But I still maintain that the reason why we have it the way it is because the Chrissies and the Yannies and the Paris and all of these black female content creators spanning the past decade and a half have always spoken about how horrible black men are and how black women need to date out and be pre-internet. All of these authors and black women leaders and etc., black feminists, how horrible black men are and how black women need to expand their options. Black women need to not be loyal, right? Black women are too loyal to black men. Black men aren't loyal, etc., right? And so you want to talk about scarcity mindset. Uh-oh. What you think you're fostering in black women when you keep on telling them how horrible black men are and that they need to date out? So when the white man likes one or two of their pictures on IG, they're gonna slide in his DM and throw the vagina on him, thinking that's gonna keep him. Would the white man show them any type of play, date them for a few months, now they want to propose? The dating divide, everyone. Women of color respond first to white men and then men of their respective races. Not just black women, Latinas, Asian women. I said it before. Non-black people have been oriented to defer to white men. White people, but white men specifically. That includes you women, black women. So spare me all this talk about what you won't do. Yeah, you'll do it for the white man. I 100% agree with Jason Black on this. What he says this all the time. You want to hear the truth? Put a white man in front of him. Put a white man in front of him and close the door. and a person of color just gonna start spilling their guts, right? I agree with Jason Black 100% when he says that. Put a white man in front of him, everybody just start. White man is just a truth serum. So yeah, passport OG. Yeah, the Travis Kelsey thing. Yeah, some other it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's cringy. How you gonna pick Taylor Swift over such and such? And how you gonna what? You asking the white man why he choosing a white woman? What? Yo, what type of topsy turvy world? And I said it before. Let me say this again. Y'all better hope Jeezy does go through with that divorce, because rumor in the rumor mill is Jenny Mai is fighting to keep her marriage. She's not just contesting it because of the terms of the divorce. She's contesting the divorce, period. Y'all better hope that's just a rumor, because y'all gonna look real stupid, Chrissy, if Jeezy stay, and if Jeezy stay for good. Just L on top of L's on top of L's. Y'all better hope the way y'all was celebrating this potential misfortune on Jeezy's part, y'all better hope. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Looking real ugly right now. And then, like I said before, real talk with Yanni want to play damage control and then throw black men under the bus, even though black men have nothing to do with the story of black women embarrassing themselves for the world to see, because they thought they had ownership over a white man because he dated a couple of black women. Because he was in relationship with a couple of black women. And the near billionaire white female entertainer found interest in him. And he did what just about any man, definitely white man, would do. What? Anyway, on that note, we'll pause right here for real, for real. Um, love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Definitely go check out other non-Manosphere content, right? And yeah. So, Passport OG, I just gave you a little bit of what I said, I think last night, yesterday, or was it the day before? Yesterday, right? Or, well, I guess it was the day before at this point. But yeah. So, on that note, yeah. Yeah, they embarrassed themselves. Yeah, it didn't look good. We're going to see more of that. No, it's not all black women. It's not even all black women on the internet. It's a minority of a minority of a minority, but it's still embarrassing that anyone would think that a white man that dated a couple of black women now belong to black women, right? Yeah, he had some fun for a little bit, and that's it. Especially she was the one who initiated with him. Hey, GC said TikTok has them exposing themselves so hard. Hey, like I said, the internet will expose us all. Dot dot dot. In reality, we will expose ourselves on the internet, and there you go. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It really is. Dear black men in the black manosphere. Yeah, how about we don't do that ever? All right, that's embarrassing. Right? Yeah. So on that note, all right, y'all, go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. And we will pause right here. Truly, love, peace, and chicken grease. And y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all night. And Mr. Z out. All right, everyone.